Once upon a time, in a grand palace in China, the emperor heard tales of a wise king in Europe. Intrigued by the stories of the European king's wisdom, the Chinese emperor decided he wanted to learn from him. He summoned his courtiers and shared his wish to understand the wisdom of this distant king. To achieve this, the emperor decided to send his most trusted envoy on a journey to Europe. The envoy prepared for the long journey, with the palace courtyard bustling with activity as attendants readied the horses and supplies. After traveling for several months, crossing mountains and seas, the envoy finally reached the magnificent palace of the European king. The European palace was adorned with beautiful paintings and artwork, reflecting its grandeur. The Chinese envoy, upon being presented before the European king, conveyed his emperor's request.
"Our emperor has heard much about your wisdom," the envoy said. "He wishes for me to learn from you. Can you impart some of your wisdom to us?"
"Certainly. Let me share a story with you, one that will impart a valuable lesson to your emperor."
The grand hall of the court fell silent as the courtiers and guests eagerly listened to the king's story. The soft sunlight filtered through the stained glass windows, adding to the serene ambience. Once upon a time, the European king began.
In a small village, there lived a poor but hard-working boy. Through his diligence, he amassed a great deal of wealth and eventually built a beautiful castle. However, despite his riches, he was always afraid that someone might take away his castle and his wealth. To quell his fears, he built a strong wall around his castle. Yet, even after building the wall, his fear did not subside. He continued to build more walls until one day, he found himself trapped within his own castle, cut off from the world.
The king paused, letting the story sink in before continuing.
The true wisdom lies not in building walls to shield ourselves from our fears, but in fostering love and trust among people. Walls do not provide safety, love and trust do.
Upon hearing this story, the Chinese envoy thanked the European king and returned to China to share the lesson with the emperor. The emperor listened intently to the envoy's recounting of the tale, reflecting deeply on its meaning. "This indeed is a profound lesson," the emperor said. "We cannot ensure our safety by building walls. We must cultivate love and trust among our people to strengthen our kingdom." The emperor took this lesson to heart and implemented measures to foster love and trust among his people. He listened to their grievances and worked diligently to solve their problems. His wisdom and compassion led to a strong and prosperous kingdom. This tale teaches us that true wisdom lies in fostering love and trust among people, not in building walls of fear. Love and trust are the foundations of real strength and protection.